An Israeli official says Prime Minister Netanyahu could announce an end to the war in Gaza when he visits the White House next week. President Trump says Israel agreed on terms for a 60-day ceasefire in Gaza and warned Hamas to accept the deal before conditions get worse. He also says a deal to end the war might come together as soon as next week. I want to bring in ABC News foreign correspondent Tom Soufi Burridge in Tel Aviv. Tom, Hamas suggested that it was open to a ceasefire agreement with Israel. So how close are they to a deal here?
I think things are getting closer. I mean, I think, we've had a lot of false dawns in the last few months about a potential ceasefire in Gaza. This feels different, mainly because the Israeli government has given many hints that it now wants to move towards a permanent end to the war. I think there's room for caution, though. Look, I mean, at the moment, that post by President Trump talks about this 60-day ceasefire in which 10 of the living hostages would be released, the other 10 potentially released only when there are further negotiations to turn it into a permanent ceasefire. Today, Diane, a lot of our attention should be on Cairo. That is where Hamas officials are meeting with the Egyptians and the Qataris, mediators in all of this. And I think we can assume that for Hamas, what they need to look at now is whether or not there are basically enough guarantees in this proposal on the table right now that would turn a 60-day ceasefire into a permanent truce. Because we know from Hamas that is their bottom line, that is their red line they have stuck to throughout. And the question is, and I think it remains until Prime Minister Netanyahu says so explicitly, and he hasn't yet, is the Israeli government willing to permanently end the war in the coming weeks? Lots of hints for that, but nothing explicit quite yet. Diane?
All right, foreign correspondent Tom Soufi Burridge in Tel Aviv. Tom, thank you.